If you've ever driven a car and you know how dangerous it can be to change lanes without checking your blind spot, just one wrong move and suddenly the guy beside you is blaring their horn like a foghorn in a storm, shooting you a death glare as they speed past. But blind spots are even more critical on the path of your marriage. When you finally uncover the real reason your marriage is on the rocks, it's like flipping on a light in a dark room. The entire dynamic shifts and you're confident behind the wheel again. In this video, I'll reveal the blind spots that have been holding you back and give you life-changing awareness to know exactly what to do to rebuild connection with your wife. And we're gonna do it through the R.O.A.D framework, because needless to say, this is the road to recovery, both in your marriage and in yourself. And by the way, later, I'll share a powerful insight from one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, that reveals the secret ingredient to reigniting her attraction for you. Let's jump in. Look, man, I'm just gonna come right out and say this video is a gift. Why? Because it tackles the real reasons why most wives give up on their marriages, the ones that you never saw coming. But it's only gonna be valuable if you watch with an open heart and mind. And honestly, a smart, logical guy like you can handle that. So in this video, what you're gonna get is a newfound awareness that puts you back in the driver's seat of your life and marriage. You're going to unlock the key to reigniting her attraction for you. You're gonna learn how to rebuild trust and become emotionally safe for her, and discover action steps that will transform the dynamic between you and her. But first, we need to take a hard look under the hood. It is time to shine a light on what's been causing all the smoke and fumes in your relationship. No more frustration, no more driving blind. The R stands for realize blind spots. Now, most men don't realize just how little everyday behaviors can add up over time. A sharp tone here, a dismissive comment there, or even just zoning out during a conversation. It's the stuff you don't really even think about because it feels normal, but these tiny moments slowly create distance. They make her feel unheard, unseen, and eventually disconnected. My top Instagram reel goes into this. It's over 7 million views.
My husband cracked the damn code on me. He got home from overtime yesterday and he was like, I'm starving. I'm gonna order Mexican food. What do you want? And I was like, I just ate with the baby. I'm not hungry. I don't need anything. Promise, I'm good. I'm fine. I said, I'm fine. 20 minutes later, DoorDash shows up and his food, of course, smells delicious and the regret sits in my soul. This is how I know I have a soulmate, because the first thing he pulls out of that bag was a burrito, not for him, for me.
Top comment says he knew what was necessary to protect his own food. You know how women often say it's the little things that matter the most? This is an example of that. He said, Josh, I asked him, I said, what was the straw that broke the marriage's back? And he's like, I stopped getting her favorite snack at the grocery store that I used to always get. And she said for her, that was the last straw. Because a lot of guys will get confused because they think it's some grand thing that's like, well, I didn't cheat on her, I didn't do this. But at the end of the day, those little micro behaviors tell a larger story about how much you actually care about her, right? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to fixing them. Now, I want to share a quote from our head marriage evaluator, Justin. Not only has Justin spoken to over 1,000 men personally through our program, but he himself went through a divorce. It wasn't until 4 years after his divorce that he learned the role of his own actions and how they played a role in ending his first marriage.
You know, one of the things that I learned is that my ex-wife did not control what she feels. Now, she controls how she reacts to feelings, but not the feeling itself. That feeling is based on a behavior. So I want you to think of it like this way. If over a long period of time, I am triggering feelings in her that she does not control, she can only control the reactions. But my behaviors do not change, even though it's obvious that her feelings have been hurt or damaged over time.
Now that sheds some light on her perspective and what caused her to make these choices. Now that you're seeing it come to the surface, it's a rude awakening and you're stuck playing catch up, feeling powerless. And here's another crucial insight from Justin. He says, you feel like you have no control on what's going on, but you're in far more control than you think you are. The reason why you feel out of control is because you don't know what has led you here. But when you do know, now you have the self-control to start doing the right thing. And this is how you get out of this place. Any man who's in control of himself is in control of his environment. By the way, Justin is happily married to his new wife and their marriage is thriving because he now has that awareness. Think about it. Once you become aware of what's really happening, you have something incredibly powerful: control. Awareness leads to control over the self, which leads to control over the environment. However, this newfound awareness is just one piece of the puzzle. What you do next lays the foundation to rebuild trust and create emotional safety that she craves. O stands for own your role. Now, accountability isn't just about self-blame or guilt. It's about taking ownership in a way that empowers you to create change. Think of it this way. Every time you deflect responsibility, whether by pointing fingers at her or making excuses for your behavior, you chip away at the emotional safety she needs to feel secure with you. But when you own your part, it's like laying down the first brick and rebuilding the foundation of trust. Now, this doesn't mean you have to carry the weight of rebuilding the relationship on your own. It means simply recognizing where your actions or inaction have contributed to the current dynamic. When your wife sees you stepping up, not just for her, but mainly for yourself, it sends a powerful message. You are serious about change and you're willing to lead. Now, here's a final quote from Justin. But let me ask you something. Do you believe that if your behaviors change, that you can trigger a different feeling in her over time? If she sees those changes, manipulation or not, consistency builds belief. You can connect the dots and she can learn to feel understood and trust your security. By the way, if you love what Justin is saying and you want to get on a call with him or one of our other marriage evaluators, a free call, and telling you exactly how you got to where you're at and how to move forward successfully through our program, click the link down below. However, it is not free advice, so only set up the call if you are committed to doing something different and taking action in order to save your marriage. Let's continue. Now, awareness isn't just about surface level actions like dismissive comments or reacting defensively. It also goes deeper into a crucial dynamic that you may have unknowingly let slip away. It is a silent killer of her attraction for you, like leaving the lights on in a parked car, slowly draining the battery until nothing is left. But you can bring it back to life. And when you do, you'll see her light up again, more playfully, more engaged, and looking at you the way she used to by applying polarity. It's a word we talk a lot about on this channel because it is crucial to attraction. It's oxygen to the fire. It fuels everything. Most men don't realize when they lost the polarity because it happens slowly and almost unnoticeably. It's when they stop expressing their opinions to avoid conflict, when they stop leading, stop making decisions, or stop setting boundaries. When you rely too much on her for emotional stability, seeking validation, reassurance, or letting her lead the dynamic, you lose the very traits that made her fall in love with you in the first place. Instead of being her rock, you become another weight, and she has to bear that weight. And the more this happens, the less that she desires you. Attraction is a dance of opposites. Masculine and feminine energy thrive in harmony, but they repel when they are out of balance. There's a study done called Why Polarity is Vital for a Passionate Relationship. The insights from this study and wisdom from Tony Robbins connected with the study reveal that when men rely too heavily on their partners for emotional support and validation, it can quietly erode attraction over time. This dynamic can quietly turn you from her rock into her second shadow. Always there, but just not in the way she desires. But when you hold on to your emotional independence while still supporting her, you create the balance that fuels connection, keeping the spark alive or reigniting it. Once you've addressed the underlying blind spots and have taken accountability, you've stopped reacting to your circumstances and you start to take control of your life. But how do you sustain these changes so they last? Well, that's where you use the D in demonstrating change. The final step is about replacing old habits with new intentional ones, and they set you on a solid path forward. It's about stepping up with courage to reclaim the parts of yourself you may have lost along the way. In the 2011 movie, We Bought a Zoo, Ben, the main character played by Matt Damon, teaches his son an important lesson about life and relationship by sharing a personal story.
Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage.
He recalls how it only took 20 seconds of insane courage to approach his future wife and make a connection that changed his life forever. What the moment does is that it emphasizes bravery, vulnerability, and taking bold action despite fear of uncertainty.
And I promise you, something great will come of it.
Now, I want to give you 2 practical exercises to help you build that momentum. The first one is to reclaim your drive, your mojo, so to speak. All you have to do this, the only thing you have to do each day is spend 10 to 15 minutes reflecting on pursuing something that drives you forward, something you're passionate about. Stoke that fire inside of you, that call upon your soul. This could be planning a fitness goal or working on a project that you've been putting off, or just a professional milestone. It doesn't matter. You need that dopamine drive to move you forward in life. If you used to love woodworking, playing music, running, working out, whatever the case may be, set a tangible goal along that habit or hobby or passion and watch just how you wake up each morning with drive. It's how all you could focus on. Because when you put that focus on yourself, on the best version of yourself, there's an energetic shift that she feels. She feels that she is not the main source of your attention and focus, which she doesn't want to be spiritually speaking. This rewires your masculine dominant frame and she loves it. The second way is to lead by example. Now, this is more for when you're back together, especially back under the same roof. Pick one area of your relationship that's been a source of friction among you two, whether it's planning dates or finances or the kids, whatever it is. I want you to do something in that domain to take the lead. For example, plan and execute a stress-free family outing or take over the bedtime routine for a week. Show consistency. That the key isn't doing one grand gesture, but proving over time that you're committed to being reliable and present. New patterns don't need to be monumental to make an impact. It's about the intention behind them and the consistency of your effort. By addressing the blind spots that once held you back and replacing them with deliberate positive actions consistently over time, you demonstrate that your growth isn't temporary, it is lasting transformation. The most important part is you're a new man behind the wheel, no matter what the outcome of your marriage is going to be. Now, if you want a story example of a guy who saved his marriage through this process, click the video right here on this client success journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.